Donald Trump began his joint address to Congress exactly how you would expect. He was attacking Democrats, he was heaping praise upon himself, and of course he was lying about his accomplishments, lying about some disastrous economy that Joe Biden supposedly created. But then he broke down, angry as ever that Democrats were booing him in calling out those lies, and he took it an extra step further, physically removing a Democratic member of Congress from the chamber because he couldn't take the boos. It was a complete implosion from Donald Trump that we are going to get into live from the Capitol right now. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, of course to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, before we get into that member of Congress getting removed from the chamber, we have to see how Trump's speech started.
Fifth such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad.
Lies, and then more lies, and then more lies, some distraction here, some anger there. It's what we've come to expect from this administration, simply trying to divert your attention from their failures. They want to make a spectacle. They want to make you forget about what is happening with Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. They want you to forget about the corruption. They want to forget about what they're trying to take from you. Donald Trump wants to distract, and he is going to attack anyone who is going to stop him from doing so. We saw Tom Homan say that he would deport AOC. We saw Pam Bondi sending a letter threatening Robert Garcia for simply speaking out against Elon Musk. And now we're forcibly removing people from the chamber for exercising their voice, for calling out Donald Trump's lies. Are you serious? What happened right here?
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session. Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
I guess we should have expected it at this point. I guess we should have expected that Donald Trump, who is constantly talking about the enemy from within, would start physically removing people. He wants to intimidate. That is exactly what this administration is about. It is making people scared. It is the example that we are always bringing up with Russ Vought, his OMB director, who says he wants federal workers to feel traumatized when they come into work. He wants people who are trying to serve the public, the opposite intention of Elon and Donald Trump, to feel traumatized. He wants them to be scared. He wants their voices silenced because he knows how weak he is. And you look at JD smirking up there. Does that look like a strong individual? It certainly does not. And that is why we saw more attacks, more distractions, and more just nonsense from the speech right here.
In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation. By many. And what makes it even more impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? How about that? I don't know about that list, but we'll...
This is what we've come to expect. Is this really the golden age? These are the accomplishments that we're touting. This is what he has to talk about. And I was predicting that Donald Trump would decide that Joe Biden would somehow be the focus of this speech. Still so caught up in his anger and his grievance. He's got nothing to talk about. The Dow is down thousands of points. Prices are going up. We see bird flu breaking out. We see planes falling out of the sky. What does he have to tout? What is this golden age he is talking about? It is anger. It is vengeance. It is grievance constantly. This is how we distract, and this is how they intimidate.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
But this is, again, at this point, what we have come to expect. This is what it is going to be. This is the intimidation and the anger and the vengeance. What vision do they have to present? They don't. And it's why we continue to see more of this type of anger, this type of distraction right here.
Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control. And we're working hard to get it back down, Secretary.
What are these lies that he's telling? What are these claims that he's making? And again, look at J.D. Vance with that smug smirk behind Trump. What is it that they have delivered on besides breaking all of their promises? And not just breaking them, not just breaking their promises. No. They've gone even further. Even further they've gone. They've done the opposite. So they were going to bring prices down. They haven't even stayed the same. They've gone up. They said that they were going to give you more economic freedom, success. People are more worried than ever. The economy was going to be booming. People are losing their jobs in the hundreds of thousands because of Elon Musk and his greed. This is what we expect, and this is what we got. We knew it was going to happen, so much so that I actually talked to Democratic Congressman Tom Suozzi about this right before, and I think we should check that out right here. So, Congressman, I don't know about yourself, but I am certainly still not over the disgusting display that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance put on in the Oval Office with President Zelensky. There's a million things I could ask you, but I'm sure you got a lot of thoughts and feelings. I just want to put a quarter in the machine and hear what you're thinking a couple of days out.
I am working on trying to work together with people, Democrats and Republicans, try to find common ground. But I'm so pissed off about what happened in the Oval Office, and I feel like it was an ambush. I feel like when they asked that guy, the president let this guy ask a question, and he said to Zelensky, he says, "You don't have a suit? You don't own a suit? Why are you coming to the Oval Office? You don't have a suit on?" And I'm thinking to myself, who is this guy? I found it's Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend.
Walked past him in the Capitol today, gave him just the meanest stink eye I have ever found anything on.
It was just so mean. Yeah. And you have to remember, Zelensky speaks Ukrainian. Okay, he doesn't speak English, and they're like firing stuff out. It was like a gang up on the guy. And so you have to remember, Zelensky is the leader of a country that he was democratically elected to the position with 73% of the vote, as certified by the Commission in Europe that certifies free and fair elections. He is democratically elected. Putin is the dictator, and his people are being killed. Women are being raped. Children are being kidnapped. This is not a game. This is serious real life business.
And they keep saying, this is not how you do business. We don't know if we can do business. This isn't business. It's not a game. This isn't, Donald Trump playing boardroom. This is him clearly not caring. And I think the two things we've seen most out of this administration are them putting our country in danger and then following that up with distraction. And I think you put it so perfectly. This was clearly an ambush. This was clearly an event that they were trying to put on to distract from the fact that every promise Donald Trump has made, not only has he broken it, but he's gone the opposite direction. Grocery prices are going to be lower. It's not that they're not lower, they're up. And we are going to see, and we're recording this now, this interview will probably go up after Donald Trump's address. What are the lies you expect him to tell, and what are those lies that you want to combat?
Well, let me just pick up first on the word you said, distraction.
Yeah.
Because these guys are pickpockets, okay? What does a pickpocket do? One guy bumps into you, and when you're distracted, the other guy picks your pocket.
Takes a watch.
Right. So, we're getting all excited about these things, and what happened to the original promises? I'm going to rapidly reduce costs. I'm going to fix the immigration system. I'm going to have peace in Ukraine within 24 hours.
He said he was going to even do it before, right? Before he's even inaugurated.
So what happened? So prices are going up. The stock market's going down. Immigration has not been fixed. You have to have a bipartisan deal. We haven't done laws to fix immigration in 30 years in America, maybe even 40 years. We have to do bipartisan deals to secure the border, fix asylum, and treat people like human beings. And our allies, our friends, are looking at the way we're treating Ukraine, and they're like, wow, what are you going to do to us? What about us? We have a lot of people out there. We think of the big country, Europe, and we're thinking about Canada and Mexico. These are allies. And they were like, we thought you were our friends.
That's exactly what Justin Trudeau said. If they're going to do this to their allies, what are they going to do to everyone else?
Think of these other places. Think of like the UAE, okay? Think of like Japan or Korea. So they're not in the mix right now, but they're looking at this stuff and they're like, boy, we're really in a lot of risk. We're right next to Japan and Korea. They're right next to China. Australia, they're right next to China. Their economies are very heavily dependent on China. They've been coming closer and closer to us. They're democracies. They're believe in our systems. They're working with us on joint defense treaties. Now they're saying to themselves, whoa, can we count on these guys?
Yeah, these aren't the values you've been pushing.
Maybe we better buddy up with China. We don't want to, but maybe we have to. That's the wrong way to do national diplomacy.
Yeah, and the only way to combat that right now, while we don't have a lot of power in Congress, is to use our voices. You certainly are. I appreciate you coming on the show and talking to us. Thank you so much, Congressman.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Legislation, litigation, mobilization. Keep on going.
Keep fighting.
We are going to continue to cover this speech. I wanted to jump in as this breaking moment happened, but if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel because we are going to be covering this the rest of the night. I have spent this entire day talking to members of Congress. I have exciting videos to show y'all, from clips with Jasmine Crockett, with Jamie Raskin, Elizabeth Warren, Jim McGovern. So please stick around. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Of course, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you soon.